Before we even start this video, I want to make something very clear. This is not a hate video toward Ultra Instinct. This isn't about trashing the form, disrespecting Goku, or pretending the transformation isn't iconic. This video is simply about pointing out the obvious inconsistencies that anyone who follows Dragon Ball closely has already noticed. And honestly, once you really think about it, you'll probably agree with most of what I'm about to say. So come with me, because this rabbit hole goes deep. When Ultra Instinct was first introduced during the Tournament of Power, the hype was insane. We were talking about a state so advanced that even the gods of destruction struggled to use it properly. A divine technique that not even the strongest beings in the universe could fully master. And then suddenly, who awakens it? Goku. But not because he trained for decades. Not because Whis finally decided to unlock it for him. Not because he reached enlightenment or tapped into some ancient Saiyan secret. No, Goku unlocks Ultra Instinct because he took a spirit bomb to the face. He absorbs its energy, surpasses his limits, and boom, the awakening happens. And in the anime, in that moment, it made sense. It felt godly. His movements, the music, the stillness in his expression, everything screamed, "This is beyond mortal comprehension." It looked like Goku had temporarily stepped into the realm of angels. But then, the manga happened, and that's where things started to fall apart. Because Whis later explains something that completely rewrites the entire logic behind the form. Goku, you don't need any transformation to use Ultra Instinct. It can flow naturally through your body, even in your base form. And from that point forward, everything we thought we understood about Ultra Instinct becomes questionable. If Goku doesn't need a transformation, if the silver hair is just an outward manifestation, if he can theoretically use Ultra Instinct in base, Super Saiyan God, or even Blue, then here's the question. Why can't he make it work properly? Because right after this explanation from Whis, what happens? Goku gets absolutely demolished by Moro. He only activates Ultra Instinct in the end again, because he absorbs energy from another spirit bomb. Same pattern, same narrative crutch. Then he gets destroyed by Granola. Then he gets destroyed by Gas. Then he gets completely humiliated by Black Frieza. And this is not about him losing. Losing is normal in Dragon Ball. The problem is much bigger. Ultra Instinct doesn't work the way it was originally sold to us. Whis says Goku doesn't need a transformation. Yet every time Ultra Instinct actually works, he goes silver-haired. Whis says the body should move on its own. Yet Goku still needs to mentally activate a perfect mindset. Whis says he can combine Ultra Instinct with any form. But in the manga, the moment he tries mixing it with Blue, God, or Base, he can't maintain it. Meanwhile, Whis himself, without any transformation, without any special form, without any visual change at all, remains thousands of times stronger. And this leads us to the main argument. Ultra Instinct has become normal, ordinary, almost trivial inside Dragon Ball. Something that once felt divine, rare, unachievable. Something that even a god of destruction couldn't master. Today looks like just another mode that Goku can't fully control. When characters like Gas overpower it, when Granola outspeeds it, when Black Frieza one-shots it, it becomes very difficult to call Ultra Instinct the supreme technique. The way the form was introduced simply does not match how it behaves today, and this raises a very uncomfortable question. Was Ultra Instinct ever meant for Goku in the first place? Or is this technique fundamentally incompatible with who he is? And trust me, this is just the beginning. There are much deeper arguments coming next. Fire why Ultra Instinct contradicts Goku's personality. Fire why angels don't rely on transformations. Fire why Vegeta's ego actually makes more narrative sense. Fire why the manga is slowly fixing Goku's connection to the form. Fire and why Ultra Instinct feels weaker every arc. Now let's go deeper, because everything we discussed in Part 1 leads to a much bigger truth. Ultra Instinct simply doesn't fit Goku's character, and Dragon Ball itself keeps proving that. Let me explain. Fire Ultra Instinct contradicts who Goku is at his core. Ultra Instinct requires emotional calm, a completely empty mind, zero attachment, zero ego, no excitement, no thrill, no joy from battle, pure neutrality. In other words, Ultra Instinct demands that the user becomes cold, calm, unshakable, almost like a monk or an angel. But Goku is the exact opposite. He's emotional, he's impulsive, he gets excited when he finds a strong opponent. He smiles in battle, he screams, he pushes himself with pure feeling. He's not detached. He's deeply connected to the thrill of combat. So the big contradiction is this. Ultra Instinct removes everything that makes Goku, and the story tries to force this technique onto him. But every major arc proves the same thing. He cannot naturally maintain this detached state, because it's not who he is. And that's why Ultra Instinct always collapses under pressure. Fire Ultra Instinct was meant for angels, not Saiyans. Whis, the literal master of Ultra Instinct, never transforms. No aura, no silver hair, no flash, just pure natural flow. And he says it himself. For angels, Ultra Instinct is always active. That's the key. Ultra Instinct is not a transformation. It's not a mode. It's a state of existence. And angels exist in a completely different emotional spectrum compared to mortals. Now think about this. Goku achieves Ultra Instinct through rage, desperation, near-death states, emotional explosions, last-second awakenings. Everything about how he accesses Ultra Instinct contradicts what Ultra Instinct actually is. It's like trying to drive a spaceship using the engine of a bicycle. It's incompatible, and the story knows this. You'll see why. Fire Vegeta's ego form actually makes more sense. While Ultra Instinct drains Goku emotionally, Vegeta's Ultra Ego amplifies who Vegeta already is. Pride, stubbornness, aggression, refusal to back down, power increasing through damage, embracing his flaws instead of denying them. Ultra Ego is literally Vegeta's personality turned into power. Ultra Instinct is Goku's personality being suppressed. This is why Vegeta's form evolves naturally, Goku's form collapses constantly, and the manga keeps making this contrast clearer every arc. Fire Ultra Instinct gets weaker because it doesn't grow with Goku. This is something brutal, but true. Every time Ultra Instinct is surpassed in the story, it's because Goku's emotional style overwhelms the technique. Goku fights with instinct, but not the empty mind type. He fights with passion, with excitement, with surprise, with risky creativity, with insane improvisation. Ultra Instinct forbids all of that. So how can a technique designed for emotionless beings evolve through a fighter who thrives on emotion? It can't. And the story shows this every time Goku struggles. Against Moro, against Granola, against Gas, against Black Frieza. Ultra Instinct is always left behind, not because the enemies are stronger, but because Goku's natural fighting style breaks the rules of the technique. Fire the manga is quietly fixing Ultra Instinct. This part is important. The story has already started altering Ultra Instinct to better fit Goku's personality, which literally suggests that Goku should use an Ultra Instinct version that matches his emotions, not suppresses them. That was the moment the writers quietly admitted. Ultra Instinct doesn't work for Goku unless we change it. It's the ultimate confirmation that the original concept of Ultra Instinct was too incompatible with Goku. The calm angelic meditation mode will never be his strongest form. And when you think about everything we've seen in the manga, Ultra Instinct has gone from Sparkles, the ultimate divine technique, Para, neutral face, just another form that needs fixing. And if Dragon Ball continues expanding, there's a very real chance Ultra Instinct becomes something completely different from what we saw in the Tournament of Power. Now we reach the final point, the argument that ties everything together, the piece of the puzzle most people ignore, and the reason why. In the long run, Goku will eventually move away from Ultra Instinct, not because it's weak, not because it's unpopular, but because the story itself pushes him in a different direction. Let's break this down. Fire 1. Ultra Instinct isn't evolving with Goku, but Goku is evolving without it. Every time Goku levels up, it's because he breaks the mold, not because he follows rules. He never grows through calm, neutrality, detachment. He grows through chaos, creativity, emotional explosion, boundless curiosity, instinctive adaptation. That's Saiyan. I want more hunger. Ultra Instinct asks him to silence all of that. And that's why you've probably noticed something subtle throughout the manga. The more Goku improves as a character, the more Ultra Instinct becomes irrelevant. Not weaker, irrelevant. Because the man Goku is becoming no longer matches the technique he was given. Fire 2. The strongest version of Goku is not the calm one. It's the emotional one. Every peak Goku moment in Dragon Ball history comes from emotion. Super Saiyan born from grief. Super Saiyan 3 born from rage. Super Saiyan God born from purpose and unity. Ultra Instinct Omen activated from pure survival. Beast Gohan born from desperation and love for family. Even Kaioken is tied to raw determination. The formula of the franchise has always been the same. Emotion, explosion, evolution. But Ultra Instinct says, turn everything off. Turn emotion into silence. Turn excitement into cold logic. That is the opposite of what Dragon Ball has always been. It's not a mistake, it's a mismatch. And mismatches don't survive long-term in shonen storytelling. Fire 3. Vegeta and Gohan already show the direction the story is taking. Look at Vegeta. Ultra Ego matches his personality. His form grows with damage. His pride fuels the transformation. Every punch he takes makes him stronger. The technique fits him perfectly. Vegeta got a form that embraces who he is. Then look at Gohan. Beast is emotional, wild, unpredictable, born from instinct, fear, and rage. A raw primal transformation, and it fits him like a glove. Beast form equals Gohan's nature. Ultra Ego equals Vegeta's nature. Ultra Instinct equals Angel nature. Now ask yourself, where does Goku fit? He doesn't fit the angels. He doesn't fit the emotionless calm of Ultra Instinct. And the manga is clearly aware of this. Which leads to the final argument. Fire 4. Goku's true future power is not Ultra Instinct. It's identity-based. Every major character in modern Dragon Ball has received a transformation that expresses their personality. Piccolo, Potential Unleashed, plus Orange Namekian. Gohan Beast. Vegeta Ultra Ego. Broly Wrathful / Controlled Berserk. Jiren Limitless. Moro Planet Eater God Mode. Granola Precision God Mode. Everyone evolves through their identity, not through divine techniques borrowed from another species. And Goku? What transformation truly represents him? The form that would fit him is one based on joy in battle, emotional instinct, combat creativity, adaptability, relentless curiosity, chaotic freedom, pure, raw Saiyan spirit, not silence, not stillness, not angelic detachment. This is why Ultra Instinct struggles narratively. It forces Goku to be someone he is not. Sooner or later, the story will abandon it, or reshape it until it becomes something completely different. And that's already happening. Whis literally told Goku to develop an emotional version of Ultra Instinct, a version that matches who he is, which means the original concept of Ultra Instinct is already being replaced. And the moment Goku achieves a form that represents his true nature, Ultra Instinct, in its pure angelic form, will become obsolete. Ultra Instinct was never the problem. The problem was that Ultra Instinct belonged to the angels, not to a Saiyan who lives by emotion, thrill, chaos, and limitless growth. And if Dragon Ball truly wants to evolve Goku into his final, definitive state, it won't be through silence. It will be through instinct. But his instinct, the emotional one, the chaotic one, the fiery one that broke the rules of every god he ever met. And when that day comes, Ultra Instinct will be remembered not as Goku's final form, but as the bridge that led him toward the power he was always meant to awaken.